All right, today we're here with the Roberts family. Say hi, Roberts.
Hi.
Welcome back to the Cooking Contractors. I'm Aviram Barlev. This is my brother Idan. We're here at the Roberts residence, and we have some special guests for you guys. Introduce yourselves.
I'm Zoe. I'm Brooke. I'm Abby.
Today we're going to be focusing on what to do with all that food left over for Thanksgiving.
We've got a phenomenal menu today, but we're going to keep it light on the cooking. So we're going to use the leftover turkey and make a sensational avocado and turkey sandwich with a homemade aioli and a balsamic reduction. We're also going to start off with a beautiful cauliflower puree, and to accompany everything, we're going to have an arugula, pine nut, and blue cheese salad. And we're going to show you with our special 3 guest cooks how to do it and how simple it is.
This kitchen is part of an extensive remodel in which we added a second floor and we extended the house 8 feet, allowing us to put this huge island for usable workspace. This kitchen has traditional elements such as these shaker doors with some modern flair, like the Caesar stone countertops and the glass mosaic tile behind me used for the backsplash. The island is host to a lot of our smaller appliances to keep them off the countertops and provide a really clean look for the entire kitchen.
We're going to start with our pureed cauliflower soup. This soup has very few ingredients. We're going to use onion, cauliflower, garlic, and chicken stock. We're actually going to use one of our little guest chefs to help us out with the onion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to illustrate how I want the onion cut. I basically want the ends cut off. Just see the difference between my bottom and his bottom.
It's called food
Can you
waste.
see this?
It's called food waste.
Then I want you to cut it in half. You're supposed to make it look like it's easy.
Alright, now take each side.
And then take each side, and then you see there's like this one layer that just peels off and gets rid of all of that brown stuff. And then we're going to cut it crisscross. Yeah, well, watch your fingers. Yeah, just go down just like that, yeah. Hard stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, just be careful with the tip, because your mother knows me. Alright, then we're going to continue with the cauliflower. Now, cauliflower, thank you so much. You were awesome. What you want to do, take the cauliflower, is you want to try and peel this stuff off. You know, a lot of people know about cauliflower, and a lot of people like eating cauliflower, but very seldom do people cook cauliflower because you buy it in this raw form. But I'm going to teach you how to clean it very easily. This actually is where it helps to have a long knife. Because what you do is you take the bottom of it and you score it
long enough?
all the way around. No, it's not long enough. So you guys can just watch. So basically, you gotta hold it palm up. You never want to grab it because then if it goes through, right? So palm up, you make a wedge, and then you turn, and then you turn. And
That's
bam,
easier said than done, huh?
comes out just like that. Then you get rid of all the leaves.
Look, you didn't even do it yet. Look how well you did, bro.
Right. And then what you do is I want you to take these florets
and break them?
and I want you to break them into large pieces, just like that.
Okay.
Okay?
Look how well we cut the core out, huh?
I'll do it again over here. Here it is like this. 1, turn it. 2, turn it. 3, turn it. 4. Comes up. Alright, so we're going to take all of the cauliflower and the onions. And what we also did was we have 3 garlic cloves. We just took the bottom of it off. And we have a very deep pot. Now you want a good sized pot because we're going to puree the soup in this pot. So I want to make sure that it's high enough so it doesn't splatter. This pot has been preheating. We're going to add some olive oil. Alright. We're going to add a good amount of olive oil. Again, the recipes are on our website. And we're going to, for the first few pieces, we're going to put them in by hand. And then we're going to dump everything in. There we go. There we go. Okay, and at the same time, we want to take stock, vegetable stock, chicken stock. If you use vegetable stock, this is purely vegan. We want to take vegetable stock and we want to bring it up and cover it. You can also use water, but stock has more flavor. You just want to make sure that the liquid covers the entire amount of vegetables. So balsamic reduction is one of the simplest things you can do. It literally is one ingredient. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take balsamic vinegar and I'm going to pour it into a pot. It's going to be about 2 cups, but you can go onto our website to get the recipes. Then I'm just going to get this to a boil. The second it boils, I'm going to bring it to a simmer. This will take about 20 to 30 minutes. It's going to be going on in the back while we're cooking for the rest of the show. And I'll show you the syrupy consistency that I'm going to look for. We're going to use this for our sandwich. Alright, we are going to work on the aioli. Aioli is just like a mayonnaise, but with garlic, and it's a little bit looser than mayonnaise. And Abby is going to help me. The first thing we need to do is we need to separate the eggs. We just want the yolk. So I'm going to show Abby how to do this. We lightly crack it, and we want 2 equal halves, okay? And then we just do a little bit of like a itsy bitsy spider, right? You see how it's like that? And we put the yolk in here, and we save this so that you can have an omelet tomorrow. Okay, perfect. Yeah, over the bottom. That's all right. You're fine. You're fine. Your hands get a little messy sometimes. Perfect. And then, almost. Now here's a trick. Hold on. Here's a trick. When it falls in, it's actually easier. Like in restaurants that I've worked at, when we've had to crack 100 eggs and separate the yolks, so it's a little bit messier. You go and you can actually take the yolk and keep the whites in there. So when you have to do a lot of these, this is how you do it. Go Abby. All right, I'm gonna get the Dijon. And just so you know, there's a lot of people who have a hard time with this. So we're gonna teach you some tricks, okay? So we have 3 egg yolks in here. We're gonna put them in. We want 1 teaspoon of Dijon, but the reason we put it in here is not just for flavor, but because it binds the yolk with the oil. So I want you to take a teaspoon and just put it in there. Put it inside, you can tap it along the edge to make sure you get it all. All right, biggest difference between mayo and aioli is the garlic. So you can typically do mayonnaise with a whisk in a bowl. We're gonna make it a little bit quicker and a little bit easier in here. The first 30 seconds of a mayonnaise are the most important. And there is a chance that this will break or separate. And if it does, we will teach you how to fix that. But for the most part, you have to be very careful and drizzle the oil very slowly when you first start. Hold on, let's stop and check on it. There's a possibility that it's separated. And it did, it separated on us, but that's okay. We'll show you how to fix this. So now we're gonna need a whisk.
Of course it's separated.
Alright, so whenever it breaks, which happens a lot in every restaurant, you want to take the yolk, you want to break it up, then you want to take the mixture, and again, you just want to very slowly combine it. And then what we'll do is we'll finish this by hand. Alright, so basically, we've added everything except the salt, and you can tell the consistency is right. When it goes upside down, it just doesn't go anywhere. Okay? Egg yolks and oil, that's it, and some garlic. Pull to the side, and good job. Always season your mayonnaise or your aioli in the end, because if you add the salt in the beginning, it totally denatures the eggs.
He was born wearing a hard hat and a tool belt. He hammers nails with his bare fist. When life hands him lemons, he makes champagne. He is the most interesting contractor in the world.
I don't always like to cook, but when I do, I prefer watching the cooking contractors. Stay hungry, my friends.
Turkey, take 1.
So you simply want to take your leftover turkey out. You want to remove all the skin, and then I will remove the meat from the bone. This turkey look good, huh? All right, we've taken our turkey out of the refrigerator, and since it's slightly cold, what we want to do is spread it on this cookie sheet, and we want to heat it up. And also, because it's a thigh piece, when you take off the pieces that are closest to the bone, they have a little bit of pink in them, so you want to leave that side up, and then we'll put it in the broilers.
So the soup has been cooking for about 20-25 minutes, and the best way to check whether it's done is you try to scoop out a cauliflower head, and you have to use a fork, and you want to pierce it, and if it goes in and comes out smoothly, then it's ready to be pureed. So this one is ready to be pureed, and what we're going to do is we are going to turn off the heat. We're going to turn it off completely. Then we are going to take this stick blender, okay? Many different names for it, but we're going to puree this in here. We're going to take it all the way to the bottom before we turn it on, okay? And then we'll just turn this on, okay? Now in the beginning, it's going to be a little bit difficult because there's still a lot of chunks. Keep doing that. While she's doing that, I'm going to add some salt. Now we used low sodium chicken stock. Always use low sodium because the low sodium has a lot less salt so that we can season it properly in the end. Doing a good job. Alright, great. Let me check on it. Alright, excellent. See the thickness? Nice and thick. So what we want to do is we want to check on the seasoning and see what it's like. Needs a little bit of salt, right? Yeah, it needs salt. And then what we're going to do to finish it off is we are going to add some butter just to bring it all together nice. There's nothing better on a lazy day after Thanksgiving than just having a nice sandwich, some soup, and some salad. We just have a store-bought French loaf. What we want to do is you want to cut it in half. I use a serrated knife long enough to do the saw motion. I put my hand flat. So we just want to saw it all the way across.
Put on my fashionable and safe gloves.
Beautiful. And then what we want to do, tin foil cools very quickly. We want to reuse this sheet pan. We want to take this off, put it right here. We want to toast the bread a little bit. So put this back in. We're going to let that toast for about a minute or two, and then we're going to start assembling our sandwich. This is the color we want on the inside of the bread. We're actually going to assemble it, and then when we piece it back together, we're going to toast the top a little bit. So we want the aioli on the bottom. Okay?
Nice.
We're going to take this, smear it. Do not be stingy with the aioli. Okay? I'm going to take a little bit of this. And make sure to get the ends. So many people, they just put the mayo and mustard in the middle of the sandwich, and I want it all the way to the end. While I'm doing this, my brother is actually going to take this avocado. We're going to top it, the turkey, with avocado and balsamic. Okay? And while he's doing that, I'm going to put the turkey on here. Right? I want this sandwich to be nice and high.
This is a family style sandwich, so we are going to be slicing it. So that's why we really want to make sure that the aioli is covering all the bread, and that we have a piece of everything on each part of the sandwich so that it's evenly distributed, so that everybody gets the whole flavor profile.
Don't forget, whenever you put avocado on the sandwich, even though everything's seasoned, avocado is very fatty, so it needs a lot of salt. So you have to add some salt. And basically, when you think you've put enough salt, double that amount, and then that's probably the right amount of salt. All right, so our balsamic reduction is done. And basically, you can see over here, this is where it started, that line, and this is how it is. And you know it's done when you coat the back of the spoon, and you run your finger through it, and it still separates. You know it's done, okay? It's basically just a concentrated version of the balsamic vinegar, which we're gonna use for our turkey and avocado sandwich. And what I wanna do is I actually wanna drizzle it on this bread, okay? Because I want the bread to soak it up. See that? It's like syrup.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, push it down slightly.
Over here.
And then we wanna put
It's still a little warm.
all of this in the cookie sheet for a minute just to get the top nice and crispy.
Just to toast it.
And then we're gonna slice it and plate it. All right, so we are gonna make one of the most delicious and simple salads out there. It's gonna be arugula, blue cheese, pine nuts, and a vinaigrette that we're gonna make in the bowl. We're just gonna have some extra virgin olive oil, some balsamic vinegar, some salt, some pepper. So if you don't mind putting the arugula in there. So we just have some regular cubed up blue cheese. It was bought like this. Once you put all that in there. And then we'll put half of these pine nuts in here and we'll reserve the other half to top off each bowl. So go ahead and just put half in there. It doesn't have to be an exact science. Alright, so we'll take some olive oil, balsamic. Remember, the recipes are on our website. We are eyeballing it here, but we do have the precise measurements. We're gonna add some salt. Not too much salt because we've got the cheese. And then cracked pepper. You wanna try doing this? Have you done that? Go for it. Oh yeah, she has. She's better than someone else I know. Perfect. Pepper and arugula go very well together. All right, and then we're going to just slightly toss this. I always like making salad in a much bigger bowl than is necessary, because that way, when I toss the salad, it doesn't go outside. Put it inside, right, nice and high. And then just take some of these pine nuts. We'll top it off, and that's what the salad's gonna look like.
Treat yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Just like that.
Just treat yourself.
Just like that. Look at that.
Look at that. That looks amazing. You know what that is? Treating yourself.
We took the sandwich out of the oven. The top is nice and crunchy, and we're about to slice it. Let me show you what the day after Thanksgiving leftover turkey sandwich with a little bit of love looks like.
Thanks again for joining us. We're going to enjoy this wonderful meal with the Roberts family. Again, check our website, www.doitrightremodeling.com, for the recipes to this wonderful meal. Bon appetit. What are you talking about? We're having a conversation. How you doing? Hey, I'm good. How are you?